In this lesson, you will be familiar with the different kinds of mat weaving in the Philippines and identify some of the country's famous mat woven. And to achieve this, here are the following objectives. Identify different kinds of mat weaving traditions in the Philippines. Discuss the intricate designs of mats woven in the Philippines. Appreciate the works of our fellow Filipinos and their local product. And identify the different basic types of weaving. For our learning target, I can be familiar with the different kinds of mat weaving in the Philippines and identify some of the country's famous mat woven. For our art attack, coconut tree, let's see, let's find out, let's talk about it.
Why do you think coconut trees are known as tree of life? Share your answers. You may list down your answers on a paper. That's right. The parts of the coconut tree can be used in making furniture. Some use coconut leaves as the roof of their house. Can you think of other materials that is made from coconut leaves? What do we call the process of using coconut leaves in making objects such as basket? That's right, it is weaving. It is the process of making cloth by interlacing a series of parallel longitudinal threads and with another series of lateral threads. This has two parts, the weft, the horizontal part, and the warp, the vertical part. The longitudinal threads are called the warp, and the lateral threads are the weft or filling. The way the warp and the filling threads interlace with each other is called the weave. Here are the basic weave patterns. These are plain, twill, satin. Plain weave is the most basic of three fundamental types of textile weaves. It is strong and hard-wearing, used for fashion and furnishing fabrics. In plain weave, the warp and weft are aligned so they form a simple crisscross pattern. Each weft thread crosses the warp threads by going over one, then under the next, and so on. The next weft thread goes under the warp threads that its neighbor went over, and vice versa. Twill weave is done by passing the weft thread over one or more warp threads and then under two or more warp threads, and so on, with a step or offset between rows to create the characteristic diagonal pattern. The satin weave is characterized by four or more cool-fill or weft yarns floating over a warp yarn or vice versa. Four warp yarns floating over a single weft yarn. Do you have weave objects at home? What are those? One of the most common products made by our fellow Filipinos through weaving is sleeping mat. Mats are among the most useful items in the country. Because of our tropical weather, they are perfect for sleeping and sitting on. We call it banig in Filipino. Have you tried sleeping on the banig? What do you feel about it? Since then, our mats are known for being durable and available in various places. or embroidered. Badjaus and the Samals Pandan mats. The Badjau and the Samals both use pandan for their mats, which comes in shapes, multicolored squares, checkered, and zigzag lines. They use pandan for weaving. Samals have a restrained use of colors and designs, while the Badjaus use bolder colors of yellow, orange, red, blue, violet, and green in various designs. The Tawi-Tawi's Laminusa mats. Laminusa mats have triangles, trapezoids, zigzag, and other geometric patterns in lively colors. Laminusa are said to be the finest and most beautiful mat in the country. Romblon's Buri mats. Buri mats are mostly in white. What makes it special is its lace-like design on its edges. The design is checkered or plain. Iloilo's Banban and Hablon mats. Made of banban reed, the mats of Iloilo stand out because of its glossy finish. It maintains its natural beige color with geometric decorations. The Hablon weaving of Indagan Primary Multipurpose Cooperative is one of the biggest weaving centers in Miagao. The center is open to those who are passionate about weaving. It is also a place where they are given space and opportunity to learn the traditional art of Hablon weaving. These are the native mats made by our local communities. How do you think can we support and promote the textile crafts made by our fellow Filipinos? We can support the textile crafts made by our fellow Filipinos by promoting them and buying our own products, specially made by the indigenous people. We can help them to live by the traditional way by using them in our home, like sleeping on a banig or decorating our house with it. Have you learned much about the different weaves in our country? So far, what do you like about it? What weave technique do you like the most and why? Share your answer. Write it down. Since we are living in urban areas, it is very limited to get raw materials around us. That's why some people think of alternative materials to use for weaving. Some use papers, plastic strips, and yarn. You may try it too. Here are samples of weave objects made from papers.